Welcome to the GOODNITE Show, featuring your host, Jordan Geske.
What were we talking about? What was the movie that we were talking about? Idiocracy.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh, man.
I love Idiocracy.
Have you seen, Andy, the movie Idiocracy?
Idiocracy?
Idiocracy.
Mm-hmm.
So Idiocracy was a movie about like the future, but it's about right now.
Yep.
It's like basically 2020. It's like
Oh, you mean like
and hindsight's 2020. That's basically what I would say.
It was a couple of thousand years in the future.
Yeah, but it was like it wasn't.
It was an experiment, a military experiment for two people. One's just like an average Joe, one's a prostitute. They go into these pods to stay in a year.
Yeah.
And then they were about to get paid, right? Yep. So something goes wrong, the building gets shut down, and they wake up like 1,000 years later, and everyone's just stupid.
Oh,
yeah.
And we're fucking Crocs?
Yeah, Crocs.
Yeah. They're wearing Crocs.
Yeah,
all of the fountains and sinks have Gatorade. And
Yeah.
They call it Brondo.
Yeah. That's like today. That's what it's like today.
It
gives plants what it needs.
I was at the gas station and Gatorade's now selling water with minerals in it. Like everything has to have electrolytes.
That's the main topic is electrolytes.
It's electrolytes. But I feel like that's now today. Sadly, it like came full circle. That whole movie.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Well, so let's do some quick introductions because there's two of you here. So Ibrahim, I've met you a few times. You did my tattoos, both of them actually.
Did your first one?
Yeah, and the second one. Yeah. The first one. Yeah, you did the first one, which is a fun story. Maybe we'll get to that. Yeah. And then Andy, we're just meeting really for the first time other than virtually. I follow your Instagram. I've seen all of your work. You do some really cool stuff. We'll kind of get into some of the stuff that you do. You want to kind of talk about?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, anything you guys want to start with?
Are we already on record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we've probably been recording, I assume, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we've been recording. We'll probably put in the Idiocracy bit.
Gotta be careful, especially about the Crocs. So many people love them.
Yeah. We won't do anything bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So backstory, Andy and I, we actually met in Kelowna.
Yeah.
I lived in Kelowna for a little while, and then I speak Russian as my first language, and I've been keeping out what's happening on the market and Instagram and all that stuff. So I see all of a sudden on Instagram there's another Russian speaker that popped up in my town, right? Yeah. So I was like, oh, sick. So I kept liking stuff and then like following. One day I hit him up. Let's go hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we just hit it off, and since then been like best friends.
Yeah, that's wicked.
That's it.
So you're in Vancouver now?
No, I'm actually right now in Kelowna, still in Kelowna. But
cool.
I'm trying to get a direction where I would like to go, and not actually where I would like to go, especially where I can go, because right now I am on LMIA visa in Canada, and it's a little bit complicated. Yeah, I'm pretty much stuck on one place with who I have a contract.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah. There's a lot happening with that. I know. Yeah. We had a couple really great guys from the Ukraine that were working for us, and they ended up hightailing it over to Quebec, I think, because there was so much stuff over here that was up in the air a couple years ago that it was like, it doesn't seem like a good place to be at the moment. So it's interesting.
Oh yeah. Just with Ukrainians immigrants, it's a little bit easier, if I can say that. Of course, we will be speak out of the politic things. Yeah. But we what's I want to say, especially about the visas, because pretty much Ukrainians immigrants here receive open work permits for 3 years ahead. But my situation it's a little bit more complicated because I can start. I need a sponsor. To start here in Canada. Yeah. And this is just for 1 year.
So when we'll dive into this for a little bit here. I was just curious. So, like, what if you wanted to like start a business in Canada? Like, do you have the ability to get your own business going and then not need a sponsor anymore? Is there
potentially, yeah, I can start a business, but anyway,
you're an incredibly talented artist. So, like, I think that might be a good solution.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I try and get the direction because for last year when I start literally bank with my tattoos, and I got a bunch of invitations for so many countries in Europe and States and Australia. So I just try and understand what kind of direction I would like to move. Maybe I want a little bit more travel around the world and meet some another interesting and talented guys and work
Yeah.
with them, or maybe I would like to start and start build something in Canada
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
love Canada.
Yeah.
Before I came here, I was dreamed about this Canada because I was growing up as a hockey player. Actually,
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Wicked.
Yeah.
Hockey's the #1 sport here
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure,
Yeah.
man, for sure.
Yeah.
So I prefer stay here, make my documents done, and
Yeah.
get my citizenship one day. But for this point of my life, just try
It's
understand
tough.
what will be better.
You know, I've always wanted to get out of Canada.
Oh,
but
really?
it's so tough. I find there's so much security in Canada for one part, right? Like there's the good healthcare. I have like I know a lot of people. I've grown up here. I find it's hard to get out of Canada for myself, right? Like to leave it all behind and try to start again. Like I have a few businesses here now, but even like when I was like starting out like 18, I'm 32 now. So even when I was 18, I was like, well, no, I should figure out what the hell I'm going to do before I move. So it's interesting, but I was into like business more and telecommunications, right? And marketing. It wasn't something like, I find a lot of people who travel, they're more creatives. Right? A lot of the travelers are a videographer, photographer, painter, tattoo artist, right? And those you can kind of take anywhere. Like if I wanted to move to a country where they don't teach you any languages in Canada other than they might try to teach you French. I failed miserably at that. But if I wanted to move out to somewhere who didn't speak English, like my skills just don't translate. My skills just don't translate,
So
right? Like business skills. My biggest asset is my ability to talk. You know what I mean? Well, now I do graphic design, I do development and stuff like that. But back then I didn't, right? So then I got kind of locked in. Right.
Yeah, locked in. But anyway, you're able to travel around, speak with other people, just for short trips. You don't have to like necessarily move anywhere. You can just visit.
I go on vacations. I go on vacations.
Exactly.
But I've always wanted to just move. You know. Personally.
I don't know exactly about
where. I don't know. I think I would never go to Australia because I'm scared of the bugs. I'm just going to get that out of the way in case anybody thought Australia. I think like Scotland would be cool. Ireland would be cool. Like Italy would be awesome. Like somewhere warm probably, but at the same time, like Ireland and Britain and stuff, it's so rainy there. Like I never get a sunburn again.
So gloomy there.
I have more sunburns than anyone in the history, right? Like I'll get a sunburn on a winter day while it's snowing. Like so, somewhere gloomy wouldn't actually be the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Something about the rain is like nostalgic for me. Like when it's raining out, I feel like a sense of nostalgia. Personally, I don't know. I like the rain. Yeah,
Vancouver
like
Island.
Living in Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver. Island.
Loved it.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah, I've lived in Vancouver a lot through my life. I've moved there for business a few times. Moved to Kelowna for 9 months. I was living in the Delta in Kelowna.
And how is it for you?
I remember that.
How do you find Kelowna? Do you like it?
Oh, I love Kelowna.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. It's like is a great party city too. I was pretty young when I was there, so it was really good time. Yeah. So
especially the summer for sure. Working parties all the time.
I left
every day
when winter showed up. So.
Oh man, it's so easy to say how this is depressed out of the summertime in Kelowna because it's like literally like a snapping like that city. Especially for me, I don't know. It's turning so slow compared to summer because summer is extremely busy. So many
what's
people.
the population stats on that? I know like Vernon, for instance, they say like 70% of the population leaves after summer.
It's hard to say about Kelowna, but especially for the last 2 years, I can tell what's less people keep visit Kelowna.
Yeah,
I think this is probably because of economy situation and Airbnb is
the Airbnb is trying to shut shit down. Which like I see the positives in that. If you look at like Canmore, there's like people can't even afford to rent and work in Canmore. Like the pay
Super
at the
expensive.
jobs
Super
is
expensive,
too low for how expensive it is to rent a single room in Canmore, right? So now they're trying to limit like developers building and the amount of Airbnbs. And like you see the positives, you see the negatives, right? But at the same time, like I feel like all these new new platforms, they bring like surge pricing, and surge pricing is just so unrealistic. I remember I had a flood in my kitchen last year and I needed a hotel, and I like went and checked, and there was a convention in town, and so like it was like $700 a night at the fucking Wingate or Super 8. You're like, what the hell?
That's insane.
Yeah. So it's like, I see the problem with the Airbnbs though, taking the houses, but I'd have to look into like the stats in certain places. But we work a lot with like Airbnbs, and we work with some pretty big companies in Kelowna. We do all their like automations, so like text messaging guests, giving them like ideas, directions, concierge, doing nurture campaigns, and following up with leads automatically. We do like all that for like Airbnbs and stuff like that. And we worked a lot in Kelowna. And we moved them all into like midterms, right? We had to recreate all of the websites and everything, like, because there's a lot of laws. Like, as long as you're renting them out for at least like 1 month or 2 months, then it's okay. But no like overnights and shit like that. Yeah. What about you? How long you've been in Canada? Most of your life? Or?
Yeah, we moved from Kyrgyzstan in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came with my parents.
Yeah.
First we lived in Vancouver and then Toronto for like 11 years.
Yeah.
Then went to Kelowna. Was there for like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And then came to Calgary. Well, when I moved to Calgary, I moved with my wife and kids.
So which one's your favorite?
Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah,
nice.
for sure.
Nice. Yourself?
Yeah.
Do you like Calgary?
Vancouver, but Calgary is second place for sure.
Yeah.
Vancouver has a very special place in my heart for sure. And like the island. I don't know if you guys have ever been out to like Tofino.
Yeah.
Oh, Tofino.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nice.
Yeah, Tofino's beautiful. I want to go out there for storm season this year. So like you go for like right about like November or so, and like the storms are crazy. Like,
people go surfing there too, right?
Yeah. Huge surf scene. Yeah,
like a big waves.
Yeah,
it's huge waves.
Yeah.
It's like open ocean.
Yeah,
like Hawaii and Japan's on the other side.
Yeah. So there's huge waves. Yeah, it's really cool out there. Yeah,
it looks like a picture. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, no, that's sweet. So like, let's talk a little bit about tattoos.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dive in. Yeah. What's it? So tell us a little bit about what it's like in the tattoo industry. There's so many different artists and so many different styles. I was actually talking about our conversation just the other day. I had one of my guests on here, and I was talking about how you were talking about how important content marketing is now for
it's definitely up there now.
Yeah.
Super
And I
new
see that
and
in a lot of industries.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are adapting. A lot of people are not adapting towards it. And it can either benefit you or it can harm you, right? I cannot say it works the same for everyone.
Yeah.
But like we're talking about the market, you know what I mean? So there is a market. If you want to make money, you kind of have to follow the rules of the market. If that's where you're trying to go. Yet there's also established artists that have been around for many, many years in the same spot. And for a lot of them, the best way to do that is to use word of mouth, like going old school, you know what I mean?
Yeah, lots of referrals.
Yeah, referrals and things like that, right? But if you're new to the market, how are you going to spread the word of mouth if nobody knows you, right?
Yeah.
So it's harder to start the mechanism,
Yeah.
right? So your way is to adapt digitally, right?
Yeah.
So Instagram, ads, all these things, right?
Yeah.
Some people it works, some people it doesn't, but it's still in kind of like figuring out stage.
Yeah.
It's all new,
Yeah.
right?
And some people are probably more talented at the content than they are at the tattoo even.
Absolutely.
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of gives you like a quite the leg up, right? I know even in like my industry, like in like web development, like there's some people who are just like so good at content, and I'm like, yeah, but man, that's their websites aren't good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's interesting to see that kind of shift where it's like, well, you're not even looking at the skill, and you're not even looking. People take content as a form of social proof a little too fast sometimes.
I look at it from my previous backgrounds and all this. I was a graphic designer for some time. I did a lot of sales, right? So my previous background is in sales. And in any business, if you want clientele, you need to know how to sell well, right? So people are sometimes they're really good at selling, but the product is not there.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't matter if the product is there or not.
Yeah.
So they care to sell and make that number, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily they will deliver the product the way that the client wants, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's tattoos or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the struggle now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard. Just I mean, if you're focusing for the high quality of your product, you have to spend more time for that.
Yeah.
But also the marketing, especially in social media right now, takes a bunch of time, a lot of time. Also timing, how you leave the description, and yada.
It's not as easy as film and post. And it's not even as easy as write, film, and post. Even the pre-planning isn't enough, because then when you get to the editing, now you're like, okay, well, now the thing is I got to take the last bit, I got to put it at the front, right? I got to put the most exciting piece of this
like a catch,
at the front,
you know?
right? So that they're like, oh, how did that go from this to that, right? And then they have to watch it. And there's all these different tricks and all these different hooks. To me, like, and I run, obviously, like a pretty big social media thing. I feel like content is getting a little bit ingenuine and a little bit like bait and switchy.
Desensitized.
Yeah, it's also desensitizing, right? So it's very interesting. Like, I wonder when that'll kind of start. It always teeter-totters, right? It's always like a clock. It goes back and forth. So hopefully it starts going back towards the like, oh, okay, I don't need your gimmicks, right? I'm looking for something more real. But yeah, it's people are. I feel like
it's all experiential, I think, you know, and it's like it works for those who run the platform, right?
Yeah.
So things like Instagram, if it creates a standard, you have to meet the algorithm, the quality of the post, or the amount of seconds that your post lasts, all these things, right?
Yeah.
So then people just naturally have to adapt to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a really interesting thing. I talked to my buddy. He runs a food prep AI company down in the States. So basically, instead of meeting with dietitian or nutritionist, you actually, there's one nutritionist for every 10 that there usually was, because he's developed an AI that does it, right? And then you just need one person to oversee a lot instead of having so many different nutritionists, right? And I was talking to him, and he's like, well, you've cracked so many algorithms, right? Because we've cracked the Google algorithm, we've cracked the YouTube algorithm, we've done it to Instagram and TikTok, we get millions of views everywhere. So it's like, he was like, how do you do that? And I'm like, you don't crack it. You follow it.
You follow, yeah, exactly.
You follow it. Exactly like you were saying. You're like, well, you have to follow the views. You have to follow the amount of time that it's running. You have to know what's going on, right? Like what song works with it,
exactly.
right? You have to keep people's attention. Yeah, so it's funny, because really we're slaves to the algorithm.
It's silly,
like,
but
we're not in charge at all, and that's why I'm successful. Is because I fold to the algorithm. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is what's working. This isn't what's working. Try this 15 different ways. Okay, one way works. Do that again and again, right? And that's the big thing. Yeah.
And like for us, if we're speaking of the tattoo industry, we just give you like a rundown how it works, right? So we meet a client, we talk design, book them, design the product, right? Then tattoo them for how many hours. After tattooing is done, during that process, you capture everything. Then you go from that job to your other job. How are you going to showcase it?
Yeah.
You're editing, you're posting, interacting, replying, plus trying to balance the messaging to other clients. And it's a crazy juggle, you know what I mean? You're trying to balance so many things, and you have a job after a job after a job.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think like you'll see like I think like 8 years ago, nobody really saw how big like influencers and creators and podcasters were gonna be, and I think that you're gonna see more. I think that this is only the beginning, right? I think that you'll see content creators is gonna be such a skill for people who don't have a traditional skill, right? Like these people who are currently working jobs, maybe. I don't want to slander anyone, but like at a call center, right? Like a job that you necessarily might not even like, right? You're going to have to find a place to fit in the new world. And that might be content, right? Creating content. And it might not be going out chasing one person at a time and being like, I want to create content for you, and not even creating content for yourself. It's more like approaching like a full studio of people and being like, hey, I can make a reasonable price for a whole studio. I can make all the content for that instead of trying to chase 8 different people, right? And then I can find one place, and it's easier to split up. I think that'll be a big thing moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and like from our perspective, it's like if you're not doing all the content yourself as a tattoo artist, like there's people, I'd say, who've been tattooing for like 20 to 30 years, or like 15 to 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And imagine for them to adopt something that's like existing only for the past year or two, and it's brutal. You know what I mean? They're so set in their own ways where like, oh, I tattoo, I talk to my client, have a great experience. They come back, they refer their friend.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I got to dance for the freaking phone.
Yeah, you got to dance.
And you know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
But
dance monkey.
And I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me personally, I try everything. I try every avenue so that see what works, right?
Well, yeah.
But if I were someone in the other shoes where I've been tattooing for many years and I don't want to adapt or I cannot or it's hard for me to adapt, I would hire someone who does content creation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, okay, listen, guy, you know how it works. Here's part of my budget. Dance for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Dance for me.
Yeah, bring the clients.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And like for instance, like I didn't meet you off of Instagram.
Yeah.
But I got a tattoo from you on a tour bus.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea what you actually did. Like I'd never seen your work.
Yeah, we got a small
then
fine line piece.
I saw you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I feel bad getting this from you. I felt bad. I was like, this is C'est la vie on my arm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit, this guy does crazy work. So check him out on Instagram, IBZ Drop, and like see his real work, which he did. We'll throw up a show of mine as well. But like I saw your work. You're very good at Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And
I try.
Yeah. Like you put in a lot of effort into that, right? Even after I was getting my tattoo done, you're like, hey, now I got to take some photos. Hold up. Like, I know you've been here for.
Yeah, that's the worst moment.
I think I sat for 9.5 hours.
That's the worst moment is when, I'll talk from the client's perspective.
For 10 more minutes. You're like,
it's brutal. Like people get tattooed for how many hours, and then guys like me are like, okay, now you got to stand.
Yeah.
Let me shut off the
Dance
lights and all this. Yeah, exactly. Now you're gonna pay it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but no, it does pay off. Like as soon as I saw your actual work, I was like, I've never actually wanted a real tattoo before.
There you go.
So yeah, no,
it works.
Like, hopefully you hear that more often than not. Your tattoos, they stand out to me, Andy, because I started following you before I actually met you through IBC. You were just like a suggested. Yeah.
Thank you.
And your tattoos just pop because they are very different and they obviously stand out. There's a lot of color going on as well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is what I actually try to do when I start working on with my own style.
Yeah.
I was really interested to make something like a unique what people was understanding like, oh, it's Andy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so right now it works like that. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm successful at this point. But anyway, I don't stop with making something new, integrate some new ways to represent my style, like in the new other angles, or maybe mix it up with some other styles, because if talk about the styles and the unique forms of the styles right now, especially right now, we live in at the time when everyone is unique and you try and be unique around the unique, and you have to make something special. Here's so many. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and how to pop when here are so many styles and so many artists, high skills, who's already doing all of the styles, something cool. Mix it up.
Yeah,
just mix it up. Mix it up with something else. Like I, for example, was originally like a new school tattoo artist, and new school by the composition and start how people make a composition with the body flow. I was always impressed by this, and this is what I really like as a style. But I didn't. I was like have a feeling what it's not enough details for me. So I start focusing more for realism. Nice detailing, everything looks real and cool, but the composition part, it's always goes down. It's mostly just like a sticker for me. Just stick and that's it. Doesn't matter how body flow goes, but I try to combine it with something. And at the right time, I just found the AI when just was released first AI platforms to making designs and the pictures. I just started to use it and mix it up, and it works.
And what's that you were using? I think I heard Stable Diffusion.
Stable Diffusion, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know much about Stable Diffusion. Do you want to give me a little bit of a lowdown? Because I know it's like it works very different from if I use a lot of Midjourney. I use a lot of chat. Right. But for the most part, I'm still a graphic designer. Most of what I make is still made by me because that's my style. Whereas like Midjourney and Chat, it's going to take me longer to actually prompt something out of those than it would to just design it myself, right? So give me a little lowdown on that.
It's kind of similar with me, what you're talking about. Anyway, I using Stable Diffusion not to create a design. I use Stable Diffusion to make the right one reference or the perfect platform to start making designs around it. This is how I work with the Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion, why I prefer more compared the Midjourney and all others, because at this add a bunch of control, a bunch of tools to control your characters. You can like hold the pose, like control the pose of the person, of the character.
It works in like nodes, right? I think I've seen it before where you can like put a bunch of different like, you know what I mean?
You start with the prompts, of course. After, you a little bit work with some other settings at the Stable Diffusion. And what's nice about Stable Diffusion, if you put the prompts, make a generation, and you made a good one reference, but you don't like something over there.
One little thing.
Yeah, you able to save this picture and just mark.
Is this it here?
Stable Diffusion online. Yep.
Yeah. Let's take a. I wonder if they have like a demonstration.
It just gives you freedom to
kind of
re-edit,
reiterate without starting again.
So if you have an image of a lady with a hand doing this, you just say like bend a couple of fingers and move it like that. It will do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It won't recreate a whole image and like tease you and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And so many styles.
That's why I rarely use any AI in my work, is because I'd have to just prompt. Yeah. I've been meaning to look at this because, well, we had 9.5 hours to sit down and chat when I was getting my tattoo done. So he mentioned you and he told me about Stable Diffusion. And I looked a little bit into it after that. And I was like, I'm excited to talk to you and kind of learn some more. So
Stable Diffusion, it's really nice about the prompts. And also Stable Diffusion give you a really nice ability with the mixing up styles over there. You, for example, can take some like a 2D, like a kind of anime character, and put over there a preset into the your generation and mix up it with something real, and and so the result will be more volume. If you also put some hot prompts like high contrast, high quality. It will be really contrast.
Yeah, like when I'm doing Midjourney, I throw in all of that stuff. I sometimes I even mention, like, because I own a production company, I know my cameras and lenses and f-stops and everything. I'll put the f-stop and the lens and the camera that I want the photo shot from, which really brings it to life. And then it doesn't look like it was made with AI anymore. It like goes and it analyzes that camera's photos across the web because it's in the metadata, right? So of like every photo. So it's really easy for it to actually find that stuff. You want to pull up Andy's Instagram here so we can take a look, because your stuff is really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But like one app that I'm kind of looking for, because I mostly specialize in black and gray, right? Which is opposite. And I value a lot of...
you guys have like conflicting styles.
So I value like high contrast in black and gray. And if there wasn't one app that gives you that ability to change lighting. So say I look at you, you have certain lighting here. And I say, put it here, put it here. But the image doesn't change, just the lighting. That's a killer one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. You can do that in DaVinci Resolve, like video editing. You can move the lighting around, which is interesting. Yeah, these are crazy. We'll throw it up on the screen so people can see us scrolling as I say that over and over, because
he's being shy, but he just scored a best sleeve and best realism.
Oh, really? Just
like
best
color awards.
Out
of like 800 artists.
I didn't expect it, actually. I just was working.
I would have expected it if I were you. If I was going there, I wouldn't be as humble as you. Actually, if I had that skill.
Actually, about the conventions, this is can be like a separate topic, because here's a bunch of stuff what I would like to talk if you're interested about that, of course. But I was working with my piece. What I take, I usually just take one client for whole of the weekend, for all of the 3 days in a row, to represent something big and something unique. Conventions, it's always a nice point for me to show off a little bit and make something big and cool, something new. So I just was working, and my client from Kelowna, he He followed me here in Calgary for the show, and I didn't know what he actually was signed up for the competition on the second day. And I just keep working on the middle of the day, and somebody just pushed me on the arm and said like, "Hey man, there's your name. They say you won something." Like, what? I came over to the stage, and I saw my guy won the best of the sleeve.
Oh,
and
man.
I was like, "Oh, cool. Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's pretty nice, yes, to be surprised."
Yeah.
Okay, I took the award. Just give you thank you and come back to the work. 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, this guy show up again with another award. Like, what man, what the hell? What's this time?
And they're heavy
Large
categories.
color.
They're heavy categories. There's, like I said, it was around, I don't know, 700 to 800 artists. I don't know how many exactly.
Yeah.
But
fuck, I wish you reminded me. You were busy. I don't blame you. I
had my head down
wanted to
and
go.
just,
You were
everything was
telling
so
me like
rushed.
you got to come check it out,
Yeah.
and I totally forgot because
Big,
that
it's
would have been
fun.
wicked.
There's
and
a
then,
smaller version
when
of
I
it.
saw it, I saw Jesse's. Which you guys know. I saw at the end of it, he was like, "That was a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry I didn't post any more on my story." And I was like, "Fuck, if you had, I would have known it was going on." But he posted it at the end. I was like, "Shit, I never saw."
Yeah.
Because that would have been really cool. I would have enjoyed going down to that. And I'm slowly convincing myself to
There's
do the rest of my
like a
sleeve,
smaller
so.
version of it in February,
Yeah, hey?
which
Yeah.
pretty much brings like mostly local artists. Local, I mean like
Give it a shout
Saskatchewan,
out. What is it called?
Alberta.
We'll give it a
It's
shout
Alberta
out.
Tattoo Shows.
Alberta Tattoo
ran by
Shows, yeah.
Steve Peace.
Steve Peace.
Yeah, and he's also a local artist. Has been here for many years.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's an awesome convention.
Where's that at?
Same, I think, place. No, it's what is the other
Bimeo?
place? It's right beside the between Saddle Dome and the BMO field. There's another building that's there.
Oh,
I forgot the name.
I think I know what you're talking about. The Roundup Center or something? No,
It's
no.
where Cirque du Soleil is right now.
Yeah.
There's a
I know
building.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Big Four.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Big Four.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's what happened last year. I don't know about this year.
Yeah.
Or the upcoming year.
Yeah.
And this time they concentrate and they divide the convention into like styles and categories of artists. So like all the realism artists are together.
Yeah.
All the traditional or neo-traditional are together, like floral or fine line, that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's fun.
Okay. Hopefully I don't miss that one.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be doing a tattoo on me at one of those shows, man.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. No, that's wicked. Okay, cool. Well, so how often do you come to Calgary yourself, Andy?
This is actually my second time.
Second time.
Yeah, I would like to come over here a little bit more often, and I think after this trip, it's gonna be happen like that. So I'll come back in the end of the next month of the November.
Yeah.
It looks like turning here much more busier compared anywhere else in Canada.
Yeah, hey?
Yeah, so
People
yeah.
are getting inked here. Or not,
Oh
like,
yeah,
not others.
it's not actually about only ink. Also, I given the master classes right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to speak about it at all because offline master classes actually takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But if someone wants, always welcome.
Yeah.
So and when I posted like on my story just one day of the master classes, I just saw so many requests. It's like, hey, can I get in? Can I get in? So it looks like okay, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's wicked.
I am
That's
I am
awesome.
happy to
So
make
the
someone
master
better.
class, we don't have to speak about it much. I was just curious. So you're teaching like your entire process, even with the stable diffusion and how you choose what you want to do and like different color theory. Like what is it that you
What
do
is
in
the way?
master class?
So it looks
All the way to tattooing or
it looks like about the design. So I just starting with the designing. We just speak mostly about the designing, to be honest with you, and a little bit less about the technique. And I and student, we make a piece together, and at the way we just switch the place. My student work, I just try and like show him and explain what he have to do, how he have to move, the arms position, and other small things. And I can also switch if I see what's my student not really picked it up. I can switch with him and just literally show like, okay, look here, you're doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
So follow. Yeah, and we switch again and he trying. But why I said what we mostly speak about the designs. To be honest with you, when I start analyzing what's actually made me like on the next step, I understand what's at the point how when I switch my designs, I turn in better because I start understanding better how works the effects. Because tattoos, it's not about the art. I'm sorry, but it's nothing artistic over here. I mean, at the tattoos, absolutely not artistic. If you want to do an artistic, this is mostly about the paintings, or if you want to think or feel yourself mostly like an artist, like an artist.
Yeah.
It starts and ends only at the point when you make a design.
Yeah.
When you're doing tattoos, it's just technique.
Yeah.
It's just technique only.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And also, when you make a design, you also have to follow the rules. What's not actually fitting well into the artistic rules, like a design what's actually looks much better like a tattoos. It doesn't looks like that cool if you make a painting, for example. If we try and make it more realistically,
it's the same with like developing. So like when I'm developing a website or an app, right? Depending on the responsiveness, what devices it's going to be on, I can't just design whatever the hell I want, right? Because then when it comes to developing, like you're like, okay, well this program doesn't allow for it, or this screen size doesn't allow for what I've designed, right? But there's actually, when you're coding something, there's rules, things happen in columns, right? So there's a lot of ways around it. It's functionality and stuff. Right? But you have to understand what the rules are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think that works depending like across most things, right?
Yeah.
Like painting a canvas is kind of like a little bit of a free form. Everything kind of can work.
Yeah.
Right? As we've seen. But no, I get what you mean.
And this is also a little bit different material. I mean, you don't have to show like that, like a high contrast on the paper or on a canvas, but human skin is a little bit different canvas. You have to follow the rule. What's the main rule in any single 1 to 2? This is contrast. You can't go without the contrast, especially, for example, like your script on the arm. It's already contrast. Why? It's just a black.
Black on the whitest
black line
possible.
on the one skin. Yeah. Exactly. So, and if you're doing something with the composition, you also have to follow the rules. And here it depends what you actually doing, like a color or black and gray. Anyway, contrast is the main and the main one effect. But all other ways what you would like to integrate in your design, it just shows and represent your artistician.
All right, I get you. It's interesting because like actually with like What's Good, when we started What's Good, we did right now we work with like a lot of influencers and we make a lot of like silly videos and stuff like that, and we do more news. When we started, we actually, and this is just to the fact of like working with the end goal and the rules of the system and the technique and not just being artistic. When we started, it was all cinematic video, very beautiful, slow camera pulls, very cinema style, traditional camera work. And in the first year, we grew from 1,000 to 10,000 followers, right? We ditched that. And we do now what you were talking about, which is follow the algorithm, right? Which is the first 4 seconds have to be crazy. The sound has to be like this. You have to add the effects. And then in the second year, we went from 10,000 to 100,000, right? So it's against most creative businesses. There's this rule that it's like, well, if you can be artistic, you can do whatever you want, but you also have to have an audience to be successful, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then once we were talking about that earlier too, but it's interesting how it can travel from web development to tattoos to social media content creation. It's a rule in its own, I would say. Like
but it's funny because everything derives from the main public being lazy, right? The shorter the attention span, the faster the content has to exist,
and it's like desensitization, like you were saying, because like people are like it like something that we see nowadays on a movie. If take who's Tom Green? You know Tom Green? Have you ever seen Freddy Got Fingered? Freddy Got Fingered, that movie was so wild when it came out. Do we have the trailer for? We can't play it on here. You guys will have to look it up. We'll get copyright strikes. But The movie was so wild and so like bouncing around from topic
I've
to
seen
topic.
it,
That it flopped. It flopped really hard. I think if that came out like these days, it would have been
It'd be
like,
perfect. Yeah.
It would have been like the best movie ever, right?
Back to Idiocracy.
People are so desensitized; they expect something weird and wild and crazy to happen all of a sudden, right? So it's like interesting because it's like right now. For instance, like just because I know the stats on web design, like 3 years ago, Google at the end of every year, they let out like the bounce time, like how fast it takes for somebody when they land on your website to decide if they're going to give you your credit card. And like 3 years ago, it was 4 seconds. This year, they let it out for 2024 at the beginning of 2025. And they were like, it's 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say it's less than a second, probably, right?
0.5 seconds.
It's insane.
When they land on your website, if they're going to buy something from you, right? And I think that's so. I think that probably traverses quite well that stat towards your Instagram for yourself, for instance. Like when you guys are making tattoos, like when you're posting them on your Instagram, that's the same as like most businesses posting on their website, right? So like people, when they see your tattoos, you have incredible Instagrams. 0.5 seconds, they're like, okay, this guy's in the running. Right away, they're like, I would trust this guy because his tattoos are insane, right? Whereas if you don't have a good Instagram presence, if the photos are poorly taken, you're not going to get in the running. Even if the art is just as good, it has to be presented just as well, right? And that's that 4 seconds attention span and 0.5 for a credit card, right? I think that's going to get slimmer and slimmer.
I'll tell you something funny. So I've been paying for ads, right?
Yeah.
Standard rule that I've been doing for a couple of years. I pay for ad and get clients, tattoo them, whatever.
Yeah.
Lately, I'm like, all right, let's experiment, see what happens if I try to gain my engagement like naturally, right?
Yeah.
Organic growth. So I start posting all these videos, right? Nothing too corny, right? And I don't want to dance and do all this stuff. So like, I don't know if you've seen them.
I've seen some, yeah.
So for the past, I don't know.
Want to pull up
IDZ
drop?
I think it's like 10 videos. I haven't even posted a tattoo.
Yeah.
I just post a printout of what I'll be working on.
Yeah.
And it's blowing up because the first thing that people see is like,
they're funny as
sick
hell.
design or cool paper, right?
Yeah.
And so this on the main grid, I show my work. Look at the first video. Look how many views it got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is super controversial.
It's like, it's
but
crazy.
that goes back
and
to.
And then people are gonna go check you out, and they're going to your main page.
Yeah.
Because they want to see the finished product.
Yeah, I'm gonna be starting.
Did you actually do that?
I'm gonna start it soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. And look, for the past few videos, the views kind of went up, right? So I'm like, okay, it's working. People are reaching out and they're booking and all that.
This is what you should be doing.
But this is the weird adaptation of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you go to What's Good and you go to our main grid and then you go to our Reels grid, that's what we do too.
Yeah, exactly.
We do the same thing. Our main grid is
the
for
formula,
business,
right?
and then the Reels grid, that's to get the views and to get the people. Right?
Yeah, and then
so you'll see these look very different, right? So here's like our page, and then if you flip to the Reels up there. It's very different, right? You can see the quality drop, right? The quality, the production value, everything, it's down. We don't even spend time making the fonts good. Like it's a total different world, right?
So how I look at it, right, from a business/marketing perspective, we are basic human beings, right?
Yeah.
So we engage into things like smell, touch, see, whatever, feel, right? So when you walk in the mall and you see a nice store and you see nice clothes, you want to feel them, right? You see a restaurant, you want to smell it and eat it. On Instagram, we can't do that. We see it, right?
Yeah.
So what is going to catch your, once again, 0.5 second attention that will make you go there and proceed further?
Yeah.
How do I convince someone to pay me this many thousands of dollars?
I think it's like,
you know what I mean?
You know, you just made me think of a funny analogy. Imagine like you have like a jewelry store, right? And the jewelry store is very well presented, right? What the real is to the jewelry store is the guy dressed up in a mascot outfit, handing out brochures. You know, like the jewelry store still has some crazy looking guy who's spinning a sign or has a mascot or something like that, something wild to attract attention. And then once you get there, you have the main grid, which that's what people are looking at to see, oh, can I trust them, right?
This is our storefront. This is our storefront.
That's the
How do I show my product?
Yeah.
That people will shop and look and go enter the store and buy the product. We're deleting
this part. This is, we can gatekeep this information. We shouldn't tell people this. This is really good stuff.
This is valuable stuff.
Yeah.
Take some seminars.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting. It is interesting to look at that, and I notice these things all the time. It's all I do is pay attention to these little things going on. But yeah, it's funny because we're doing the same stuff. We had the same thing going on.
But it's once again, did we create that?
No.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
Somebody did, and we have to follow.
Yeah.
And
yeah. The algorithm
because it
did.
works.
Yeah, the algorithm did.
It works.
But it's
and,
funny
you know
if
what I
you
mean?
think about it in the mascot and the jewelry store. It's been around for 50,
it's an old
60,
trick, right? It's an old
years,
trick,
right? It's just we're now seeing it transform into the sales periods are shorter. You have like a shorter time frame to be able to convince somebody to choose you because everything's so direct. Everything's online, right? What you're explaining is called, so you actually have two brains, right? You have the primal brain and you have the logical brain. And the primal brain is like, it reacts like that, right? And then the logical brain, it takes time, it discerns, it weighs things, right? So like when you think about like when your cell phone is coming up for renewal, they know, you know how they phone you like every fucking day.
Oh, yeah.
So what they're doing is they know that you don't want the phone. They know that one day you're going to be in a good mood. You just got paid. They know what days they're phoning you, bro. They're phoning you on the fucking every 7 days to make sure you just got paid on a Friday. It's Friday. You got paid. New iPhone's out. This guy's going to be impulsive. If I call him for 6 months, sooner or later, his primal brain's going to buy the phone. Yeah. Right? Sooner or later.
I'm in that stage right now.
Yeah.
I've been getting these calls, man.
I'm just going to say they got me. And I upgraded from the 14 to the 16 Pro, and there's zero difference. It was the biggest waste of money ever. I'm like, my phone bill's doubled, and my phone's expensive, and
that's what they do.
Didn't need to upgrade, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So while you're in Calgary, this is your second time?
Yeah, it's my second time in Calgary.
Do you have a favorite restaurant in Calgary yet?
No,
house.
actually.
Not yet?
Oh, yeah. No, his wife actually cook really cool.
Yeah.
And he actually as well for Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice
man,
cookout.
amazing. His father actually, he's a cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been a chef for many years before what he does now.
This guy has it at his blood. You know what I mean?
We love cooking. That's it.
Do your parents are in Calgary as well?
Kelowna.
Yeah,
both my
They came to
in-laws and my
visit?
parents. Oh yeah, not the Thanksgiving. They come often though. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, that's wicked. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's second time in Calgary, but I think I'm gonna visit Calgary often. I try just travel all of the Canada. Some places where I can work, get a convention. Yeah, exactly. I almost visit every single big city except Quebec and Montreal.
It'd be nice if they had trains going around a little bit more, but
look in Europe.
The planes here are expensive just to travel just around Canada.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you got to be paying attention. Yeah, you got to be like, hey, now it's cheap, buy right now, right? But then you have to have the freedom to do that. Most people don't have that.
At least trains between like closer provinces and then fly from big to big. You know?
They're thinking Calgary and Edmonton. I think they're doing the Hyperloop thing. Is that going on? I think so. Yeah, they're doing like the train between Calgary and Edmonton.
Like those bullet
It'll probably
trains.
cost like $4 billion. It's like gonna be crazy. We did a post about it recently.
About the Calgary, it's remind me a lot my hometown. I am from Siberia in Russia. My hometown name is...
I hear it's cold there.
Oh, yeah, it is cold. It is cold.
It's super cold.
My hometown name is Surgut. It's kind of like, I mean, this area where I'm living, it's kind of similar because it's the same like a oil capital of the Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like Alberta.
Yeah.
Alberta in Canada, it's kind of the same. Actually, we had a bunch of oil production employees in my hometown who like sharing knowledges, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So many people over there.
They come from Alberta.
Yeah.
Like a visit. From the mines. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can sometimes see some people from Canada at the bars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. I found it cool. At least it was like that before all of this politician situation.
Yeah,
around the world.
The world is just in turmoil. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see everything going on, and
But it's
someday
kind of similar.
Out.
Similar. What's the lowest one negative weather did you see in your life here?
The lowest negatives, like oh man, I don't know. Donovan, what do you know? Google Calgary's
-40. That's I've been.
Like I think it might have got close to -50.
-50.
Yeah, -50ish.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's okay.
It's summer for him.
Yeah,
that means it warmed
Time
up.
to get some tons.
What's the coldest thing you've had in Siberia while you were there?
I remember in my mind -64.
Minus 64.
Minus 64 for 1 week.
Oh my God.
It was so crazy.
They say diesel turns into butter in that.
All the way down to
in that temperature.
the minimum Celsius. Yeah, but this doesn't. Yeah, so minus 33 is like the lowest it's been.
Oh, really?
But that's not with wind chill.
That's in Calgary, though.
Yeah.
What about like Edmonton?
I don't hang out there.
I think that
kind of smells.
I've been there twice.
Yeah, I'm just
It was
kidding.
enough. I went there in winter.
Shout
and it
out
was-
to
it
my
was great.
family in Edmonton. Okay, no wind chill. So minus 39.
Double that, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you with wind chill or without wind chill? Wind chill is like, because so in Canada, temperature is taken in a still area, no wind.
Oh,
in the
yeah. I
shade,
see what you mean.
And then when you're outside, it's actually colder.
Oh,
so
I
like
see
this
what you mean.
is no wind.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
it.
this is no wind.
Yeah, I got it right now.
So then when the wind comes, like I've definitely seen like minus 47-ish for sure. But yeah, this is no wind is minus 30.
When I first came to Canada, everyone talked about wind chill, and I was like, well, why are they talking about windshield? So I thought it was the car windshield every time with no
The
windshield.
windshields are
like,
minus 45 out.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh my
Sorry.
God, that's so funny. Why do they care?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Didn't make sense.
How long did that take to figure out?
A couple of years, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So were you just in town just for the Calgary tattoo?
For Calgary convention,
Yeah.
a little bit guest spot, and also master classes.
Yeah.
And just in a few days later, I gonna come back to Kelowna for a little bit, Vancouver, come back here again, and we'll see what's going on.
Well,
Yeah,
let
right
us know.
now,
Maybe we'll chat again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Always happy. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to plug? Anything coming up that you want to talk about, or any openings or anything?
Literally anything about tattoos. If you're curious about something,
Yeah.
I'll be open to talk.
We'll throw up your Instagrams. We'll tag you guys in the reels. We'll send you over some content for yourselves as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Dope.
We'll call her there. Other than that, thanks for coming to Calgary. Hope you
good.
enjoy your stay, and
Thank you.
thanks for the tattoo.
Thank you.